She offered her soul biscuit to an unfamiliar man, and it transformed their lives forever. The crisp autumn breeze hinted at winter's arrival as Michael Thompson sat alone on the park bench, his dark gray coat wrapped tightly to ward off the cold. The naked branches of ancient oak trees reached out like bony hands against the overcast sky, their vibrant summer splendor now merely amemory-strewn across the frost-dusted ground. At 43, Michael led a tech empire valued to hundreds of millions. Yet today, he felt more destitute than ever in his journey from a small-town hardware shop to the peak of Silicon Valley triumph. The divorce papers in his briefcase were finalized, sealed, and ready for delivery. To decisive marriage, reduced to legal forms and property splits, he'd built his company to secure his family's future, working 18-hour days and missing countless dinners, school events, and quiet moments that no wealth could reclaim. Now his wife was gone, his teenage son hardly spoke to him, and Michael wondered if all his successes held any meaning. Against the hollow ache in his heart, the sound of tiny footsteps crunching through fallen leaves drew his gaze. A young girl, perhaps 7, approached with the bold curiosity to children. She wore a vibrant blue puffy jacket, looking like a small, resolute marshmallow, and red mittens clearly crafted with care. Behind her, at a watchful distance, stood a young woman in a soft pink coat. Her blonde hair was tied in a neat ponytail, and she observed her daughter, with a mother's careful balance of fostering independence while staying near. The girl stopped right before Michael's bench, tilted her head, and studied him with the keen focus children bring to anything intriguing. "You seem really down," she declared plainly. Michael blinked, caught off guard by her honesty. "I guess I might be," he confessed. "When I'm sad," she said. "My mommy says sharing makes things brighter." The girl went on as if this solved everything. She reached into her jacket pocket and pulled out something that tugged at Michael's heart unexpectedly. It was a single chocolate chip biscuit, slightly crumbled from being pocketed, but clearly cherished, a homemade treat that evoked images of kitchen counters, mixing bowls, and the tender care of someone who measured love in every ingredient. "Want me biscuit?" she asked, offering it with the open-hearted generosity that came as naturally as breathing. "It's chocolate chip. My mommy baked them this morning, and I kept this one for later. But I think you need it more." Michael gazed at the small gift in her mitten-clad hand. When had anyone last given him something without expecting a return? When had anyone seen him as just a person, not a CEO or a business prospect? "That's very kind," Michael said gently, "but I can't take your biscuit. It's yours." The girl shook her head with firm conviction. "My grandma always said biscuits taste better when shared with someone who needs a bit of joy." She paused, then added with a child's profound wisdom, "Besides, it's just a biscuit. But kindness lasts forever." Her simple truth struck Michael like a soft thunderbolt. This child grasped something he'd lost in his rise to success. The most precious things in life couldn't be bought or sold. "What's your name, sweetheart?" Michael asked, accepting the biscuit with respect it deserved. "Lily," she replied proudly. "Lily Grace Evans. But everyone calls me Lily. And yours?" "Michael," he answered, taking a small bite. It was perfect, sweet, and filled with warmth, stirring memories of his own childhood, when his grandmother baked on Sunday afternoons, and the world smelled of vanilla and hope. "Feeling a bit better now, Michael?" Lily asked, watching him with genuine care. "You know, Lily Grace Evans, I really am," Michael said, meaning it. This child's pure kindness had unlocked a part of his heart he thought was forever closed. The woman in the pink coat approached, cautiously, ready to step in if needed. "I'm sorry if she's troubling you," she said with a warm smile. "Lily never meets a stranger, especially if she thinks they need cheering." "She's no trouble at all," Michael assured her, standing. "I'm Michael Thompson, and your daughter just gave me exactly what I needed today. I'm Emma Evans." The woman replied, her smile brightening. "And Lily's right, you looked like you could use some joy." Michael studied Emma's face, seeing the quiet resiliency of single mothers, the love that taught Lily to notice sadness in others and respond with kindness, not fear. "Emma, may I ask what you do for work?" Michael inquired softly. Emma's cheeks flushed, but she answered with pride. I work 2 jobs, mornings at a daycare and evenings cleaning offices downtown. Lily comes with me sometimes when I can't find childcare. Michael felt a familiar instinct, once reserved for business, now guiding him towards something far greater. The biscuit was wonderful, he said to Lily, who beamed. But I think I owe you something for sharing. Oh no, Lily said quickly. You don't owe him anything. That's not how sharing works. Michael knelt to her level. This wise child in a puffy blue jacket. You're right, Lily. But sometimes when someone gives you a gift, you want to give one back, not because you missed, but because you want to. Is that okay? Lily nodded after a moment's thought. Mike pulled out his business card, wrote on the back, and handed it to Emma. I run a tech company downtown. We need someone to lead our new family services program, supporting working parents with child care and education. It's a role that would use your skills with kids and your insight into what families need. Emma stared at the card, eyes widening. Ash read his name and title, Mr. Thompson. I couldn't possibly. Yes, you can. Michael said kindly. Lily just taught me what my grandmother once tried to. Success isn't about what you gain, but what you give. Your daughter has more wisdom about connection than most of my board. He looked at Lily, her eyes bright with curiosity. Any child will. Shares her only biscuit to lift a stranger has parents who know what truly matters. But you don't know us, Emma protested. I know you raised a daughter who sees sadness and responds with kindness. I know you work 2 jobs to provide for her, and she joins you when you have no choice. Michael paused, thinking of his own son, who saw him as a provider, not a father. Emma, I've spent 20 years building a company, but I'm just learning what it means to build a life. Lily showed me that the great deals don't happen in boardrooms. They happen on park benches. When someone shares their only biscuit with a stranger who needs joy more than they do. Lily tugged Michelle's coat. Does this mean Mommy won't work nights anymore? Michael smiled. His first true smile in months. If your mommy wants this job. Yes, sweetheart. She'll have regular hours and be home with you every night. Lily threw her arms around Michael's waist in a joyful hug that nearly toppled him with its pure warmth. Thank you for sharing back, she whispered. As Michael hugged this little stranger who'd become so dear in minutes, he thought of calling Hisson that evening. Maybe it was time to share more than money or advice, maybe time itself. The gray afternoon faded to evening, but Michael felt lighter than he had in years. Sometimes the greatest mergers weren't between companies, but between hearts that found kindness in unexpected places. He looked at the last biscuit crumb and vowed to remember Lily's lesson. Sweetness charade is sweetness multiplied, and true wealth is measured in moments of connection, in biscuits freely given, and in the simple magic of human kindness. As they walked away, Lily skipping between her mother and this new friend, Michael realized the best decisions came not from strategy or analysis, but from the generous heart of a 7-year-old woe. New biscuits taste better when shared with someone who needs joy in their day.